I am thrilled to talk to a Georgia native, an Atlanta native, right, Tricia?
Yes, I am.
Tricia Holder. It doesn't happen very often where you meet somebody that knows Atlanta as well as the back of their hand, and your family is from here. Tricia is the CEO of Fix Georgia Pets, and I can't wait to hear how you got involved with us. But tell us a little bit about yourself and growing up in Atlanta.
I was born in Crawford Long. Not many people know about that hospital
I love that.
back then. I went to Christ the King and Marist High School, and then went on up to Vanderbilt, and then came back and been married ever since. And I've been married 40 years now.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And what did you do when you went to Vandy and came back? What was your business?
I went straight into advertising.
Did you have an agency here?
I went to Cargill Wilson Akery.
Okay.
And I worked there for a few years, and then I went and ran some of my parents' businesses, a printing company and a forms company, and I've done all kinds of things.
What is that like to be involved with family? Was that something that you were looking forward to, or was it like, oh gosh, I got to do this, so they need my help?
No, I loved it. I totally
great.
loved it. I was in sales, and I love sales, and marketing.
I could see where you'd be good at it.
So I've been an entrepreneur now and running several businesses since then, and now I'm running this business.
Okay, it's called Fix Georgia Pets, y'all, and I love this. One of the things that's shocking to me is that this many years later, I can remember Bob Barker, when I was a little girl practically, saying spay and neuter your pets, and there are still so many homeless animals. I feel like we have not gotten a handle on this, or is it the mentality of people? What do you think is the issue of how we haven't fixed this yet?
I think there's a couple of issues that are happening. One is just our climate. Animals up north cannot survive outside.
Oh gosh.
So they don't have the problems that we have in the South. And the other problem is people are not spaying and neutering their pets. And then they can't afford to spay and neuter their pets. So for instance, a couple living in South Georgia, a cat comes up into their property. They start feeding it. It's so cute. Well, it turns into 6 and then 12. And then, before they know it, they got a whole colony of 30 cats.
Yeah.
And if they don't do something to stop it, they're going to keep multiplying. And they don't have funds to spay and neuter 30 cats.
I know.
So that's how it can take off like that.
And the multiplying of it, it's just sort of like, it's like other things that you talk about. It doesn't even make sense. It's almost like you can't wrap your head around how fast those pets multiply. It's crazy, right?
Yes. I have this on our brochure. In 1 year, one cat produces 12 cats. In 6 years, they would have produced 66,088.
What? See, that's what I mean.
It's so fast. So if you don't get a handle on it and deal with it, there's a lot of people think, well, they're just living outside and they're okay and they're just going to live and the fox will get them, or they'll just do this, but that's not going to happen fast enough. And then disease comes in, kids get sick from cat scratch fever. I believe it's a thing.
That Ted Nugent song, it's for real, right?
Yeah. And so it just needs to be addressed.
So that leads me to Fix Georgia Pets.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how you either fell into this or how this got started.
So my dad's wife, Jenny Milner, started this in 2012 with a bunch of other ladies, and they started making their way, talking about spay neuter. It was not a hot topic back then. It was a very hard topic to talk about, and people were, didn't really understand it. It's not a very fun charity.
It's not a sexy charity, right? Yeah.
So it lingered along, and then I came in about 3 years ago and have just taken it to the next level and have really treated it like a business, like I've done my other businesses, and have really enjoyed getting the word out and explaining to people the paradigm that happens when you don't spay and neuter a pet, and the health crisis. They can get cancer more.
Right,
the issues, the behavioral issues.
It's not just that they procreate, it's that there are other reasons too.
There's so many other reasons. They're healthier. So I've been able to do that, and people are starting to respond.
How do you go in and turn something that you said is kind of going along? And I feel the same way. I'm like, if I'm involved with a charity, if I don't see it growing in leaps and bounds, I'm figuring there's something, it needs adjusting or go on to do something different. So what do you attribute it to when you said you treated it more like a business?
Well, I've been involved in United Way of Atlanta for many years, going back to our history in Atlanta. I was involved in the Tocqueville Society for many years. And one of the things we do with United Way is we don't do the work, we support those who do the work. So we always encourage them to give money to your local, the Girls and Boys Club or the Girl Scouts, whatever you really are passionate about. But give to United Way too, because they go into areas that you have no idea. And
You
they
haven't
are
even heard of.
Oh my gosh, and United Way is like the icing ball of Atlanta. They know everything that's happening in Atlanta, and that's why it's so critical to support them. So I took that same philosophy and put it over here on the pets for spay and neuter, because we don't do the work. We give out grants to all those who do the work. So by explaining that, people understand. I still encourage them to give to your local shelter. They need your support, but you need to give to Fix Georgia Pets too, because we go in and help those that no one's helping. Doing all these grants and finding out why they're screaming for more. I've got over 35 grants screaming right now in my inbox. And I just got to raise funds for it.
Okay.
But what I'm finding is the shelter can raise funds to keep the lights on, to pay their employees, to pay the water, to pay the mortgage, to pay the rent, whatever it is they need to pay. The food, the medicine, the eye surgeries, they do all that stuff. At the end of the day, there's no money left over for spay and neuter.
Wow.
So that's where we become their bank account for that. So when we give a grant out, we may give 1,000 or 2,500 and spread it out throughout the year as we're raising funds, so that we help bankroll them in managing their funds and having it only go into spay and neuter.
Well, that is educating me more on this. How do people approach you to get a grant?
There's a portal on our website at fixgeorgiapets.org. It's a spay and neuter tab, and you can apply for a grant. It's all online. And then it goes to our grant committee, and then we process that and decide. One of the things we're doing, we want to give out money.
Yes,
is the
yes,
goal.
you have to, right?
We want to, but we want to make sure they're a 501c3. We make sure they're good fiduciaries of their funds. We make sure they are still working. I don't want to keep a shelter alive. We just do spay and neuter. So they need to be good business people, need to know what they're doing, and then have some involvement in their community through their Facebook. So we analyze and look at all these like 7 to 10 characteristics, and then if they pass that, then we give them a grant.
How many people work for you? How many people are looking into all this?
So I've got a grant committee of about 5 people that help me, and we keep their names anonymous so no one knows. And then I have a team that works with me of about 7.
And is this a year-round, like you're aggressively trying to get funds here?
It is year-round. I've already given out close to $90,000 this year in grants already.
And it's April.
I know.
Beginning of April.
I know. I gave out a lot of it in February, and then I raised some more funds and gave out some more. So as we raise funds, we try to have it rolling.
Yeah.
Our goal is to give money out, is what I'm trying to do.
And then like these places that you're talking about that people don't know about, how do you find out about those places?
They find us.
Oh,
they are now
goodness.
finding us.
Okay.
There was a conversation I had with this woman down in South Georgia. She did not get much funds from the government this round, and she has over 1,000 dogs in the community that need to be spayed and neutered. There's another woman that has, I think it's 100 cats in 3 houses. 300 cats. And if we don't get a grip of this stuff, it's going to just keep going. So what we're doing is we're re-looking at this and figuring out how we can go in with more effort to go in and get a grip on it. But it takes funds. We've got a plan now. We're coming out to kind of restructure this so that we can really go into the state of Georgia, hit everyone hard. We do it for 3 years hard, then we can keep giving them the Band-Aids throughout the year.
Wow.
So that's our goal.
Were you passionate about animals before you started doing this?
I've always loved
So you
animals.
have.
I've always had an animal. I had a cat and I had a little dog, and I dressed them up in little costumes.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine. Cats would not let me dress them up in costumes. I can tell you that straight up. What about
No,
your
it was
parents?
my dog. It was my dog, not my cat. It
Well,
was
what
my
about
dog.
your parents? And tell me about how they got involved. If it was only 12, 13 years ago, they were at an older age. So what made them passionate about it?
I think they just saw the killing of the dogs. Killing is really what's hitting a lot of people's hearts. Because in my mind, they're God's creatures, and every pet, which we're talking about cats and dogs, needs to have a forever home. If they're going to be born, they need to have a forever home.
Yeah.
And so the kindest way to deal with this is through spay and neuter. is the kindest way to do this.
That's a great point, because I know there are some people that are like, I don't know, for whatever reason they feel the way they do. And a lot of times I have to just sort of button my lip, right? Because I don't want to be too judgmental. But at the same time, I just read a story and somebody was telling me they visited the Humane Society, and it was a day that somebody looked at them and said, can you take this dog? They're about to take the dog in. And she's looking at the dog going, this is a perfect dog. It's a perfect dog. And they're going to have to euthanize this animal. And that is, you're exactly right. I mean, there's nothing that's more unkind, although we're trying to be kind and do it humanely. It's just, let's stop that.
I want to stop it.
Yeah.
I just want to stop it.
Yeah.
What's so interesting is I'm finding people are finding these small colony of cats. Like we have a golf tournament, and this guy said, well, I had 4 cats show up. Now there's, 12, and someone died, I guess, from weather and floods and I don't know, all this kind of stuff. But he now has built houses. He now has a whole that colony will not leave. But if he doesn't get it spayed and neutered.
Oh, he hasn't spayed and neutered it yet. Because there are people that will come in and do that. And then they take the tips of their ears so that you know that they have them.
Then that colony can live out its life and be fabulous.
And somebody is overseeing it. It's not like they're just thrown to the wolves,
Correct.
Literally, right? I know a lot of
There's
people
a
that
lot
do
of
that.
heart
Yeah,
out
there's
there.
a lot of heart. You're right. We had even talked about a way these cats can become working cats, kind of, right?
Yes. So a lot of cats are feral. They are feral to their core and never be in a home. But there are a lot of people that own barns and horse farms and cow pastures and come to these rescues like a Humane Society and say, I need some barn cats. And they'll find them some barn cats. They'll get them all spayed and neutered, and they'll get that colony living in that barn and taking care of all their rodent problems and whatever they do.
Amazing.
And then when that colony finally passes away, they'll come and ask for another one. These cats can live a life. We just need to stop the birthing process so we don't keep killing them.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing that way. There's another way that people can help. I love this. I am going to change the license plate on my car. I like this one so much better. I'm not sure which one I have now. I'm not going to diss anything, but tell me about this. I'm holding it in my hand. You can't see it, but it's a plate with a purpose.
So this is a license plate. It's a sister. So my father started this one in 2015, and it's slowly taking a grip. But we did change the plate last year. So this is developed by a local artist in Atlanta. His name is Kyle Brooks. We call it Art for Your Car, and he is just an amazing person, and he created this art piece for us. The funds from this, $20, goes to our bank account at the Georgia Pet Foundation, and then we give those funds to Fix in order to give out grants. So it goes straight into the grant program I just told you about.
So how does this work? Is this like when you get your car registered, when you fill out your registration, or is this you can do this anytime?
There's 2 ways you can do this that I think are simple.
Okay.
One is on your birthday, or when you're applying for your birthday on your phone, you can pick out the tag, and then they'll send it to you.
This
you
is one of the
You
options.
got to find the tag, because we've got over 350 specialty tags in
So
Georgia.
how do I find it? Is it which one is it called?
I think it's a P1.
All right.
But it's under Georgia Pet Foundation, and you can find the picture of it. It's
Awesome.
easy to find it that way.
Okay.
Now, my birthday's in September, so when we launched this, it was back in January, February. We were trying to see, is it out yet? Is it out yet? So I went down to the Fulton County DMV office and just walked up, gave them, I think, $25, and gave them my old plate and ordered a new plate. So I didn't even have to wait to my birthday.
Okay.
And the good news, there's no lines in these DMV offices.
Really?
Because everyone's doing it online.
There used to be lines. I would avoid it like the plague.
Oh, I stood in them so many times.
Oh, that's so funny.
There's none. So it's super easy to get it. We literally take those funds and apply it to all the grants, just like I told you earlier.
So $20 is what we're paying for the tag.
I think you pay $25 for the tag. The state gets
$5,
whatever, and we get $20 of it.
And that goes directly to your charity.
It goes directly to me, and then I go and give it straight out.
That is fantastic. What an easy way. And it's so adorable.
It's so
That is really a great
cute.
tag.
It's
Yes.
cute.
Very bright and colorful, a real punch to it. I love it. These are easy ways for people to be involved. I mean, go to fixgeorgiapets.org.
And then the other one is buyatagsavealife.org. One of the things that we're doing, and the Georgia DMV office is amazing at it, they let me know what counties are buying these tags. So what is really cool is that if you promote it in your community, I can go look at the community and then go say, what are my shelters that I have grants to? And then I can fund those grants directly to those.
So you're really looking behind the
time.
scenes. Wow.
Yes. So I can do that. So when it gets to be enough funds, then I can give them out. That's one of the things I'm looking at. And there's a lot of counties that are, zero. And then there's a lot that are a lot bigger. So
anybody in Georgia can get this tag.
It's a Georgia tag.
Wow. I love knowing this. So how can we help if we're listening right now? I know you just had a very big fun event, a wine tasting that raises money.
We did.
And anybody can go to that, right?
Yes.
So that will be next year again?
It's in April, yes.
And then do you have another event this year?
We have a gala on October 16th.
Okay.
And we have a golf tournament on October 27th.
Oh, so October's a busy month for you.
It is a very busy month.
Wow.
And part of the reasons why our funds we don't give out to the next year because we don't collect them until the end of the year.
Right.
A lot of our funds are there. So one of the things I'm trying to do is to keep our funds going throughout the year. And we have a friends and family. I call it the friends and family. So with Fix Georgia Pets, you can give $5 a month or $10 a month. If we could get more of Georgians supporting this, even at that level, it will help us be able to fund these grants on a more regular basis. Because right now, I'm just getting overwhelmed with all the asks. So that's one way that they can help with Fix. And the other way is buy a tag. Kaedy, let me share one more thing with you.
Absolutely.
One of the things that happens when you apply for a grant and become a Fix Georgia Pet grant partner, you have had to have signed a legal agreement saying the funds we give you will not go to your kids' toys and all that, goes to spade and neuter.
Okay.
It's a legal agreement. And you get your veterinarian to sign an agreement that he or she will keep the costs low and not raise them throughout the year.
Great.
So for the length of the grant, we're guaranteed low prices. The unintended consequence that I've learned is that by creating this relationship with each of our shelters, rescues, and clinics, now we have a legal binding agreement between all of them and the veterinarians. And together we are stronger. Together we are stronger. And I'm creating this universe with all of them where then they can lean on each other for help. I need help with this advice. We're transporting some pets up north because they need adoptions. We do a lot of that in Georgia. They can lean on each other. And I really believe that we are stronger together. So why I encourage people to give to your local shelter, give to us too, because they still got to do their work. We are stronger together.
It's a network, yeah.
It's a network. And when the donors can help us with giving whatever they can throughout the year or one time or monthly, those funds coming together, I can give out a $5,000 grant, a $2,500 grant. Together, we are stronger together, and every single person who donates to Fix and through the TAG program is part of this community. And I'm so grateful and thankful for everyone who supports us.
And it's very easy to support you too. There are two different ways. The website's again,
fixgeorgiapets.org and buyatagsavealife.org.
Find out more about Tricia and the great work she's doing, and then get involved. The events sound like so much fun. I can't wait to hear about the golf tournament and the
gala.
Yeah, the big gala happening.
It's going to be fun
in
this
the fall.
year.
All right.
And
we'll check back in with you. We'll get you back on again because I think this is important to remind people about. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kaedy.